Hi YouTube, break time with you. I hope your day is going good. Mine is pretty good. Got some work done and my exercise is done. I invented a new exercise. I went up to the edge of my bed and put my arms backwards like a backwards plank and then did backwards sit-ups or squats, so it felt like a backward squat and a backward push-up. So I did 25 of them. And I tried to do that before a long time ago after I had just broke my arm. It hurt pretty bad and I had re-injured myself temporarily, so I knew I had to take care of it for a very long time. And that's what I did. So it wasn't so bad today. So that made it a good day. So far, so good. But yeah, I haven't been into my investigations any deeper than what I've gone. I thought I'm giving these local people, we'll see if anything happens by Monday. So I contacted them towards the beginning of the week. That gives them at least half the week to think about it and all weekend. And we'll see if somebody local cares about it, because what my intentions are now is going to my town council for the county, not the city, the county, because I've contacted my governor of my state, my local district legislator, and the senator at the White House, Amy Klobuchar, for Minnesota, one of the. So I've gone beyond, and locally was my district legislator that goes down to the St. Paul Capitol. So the House of Representatives down there. So, um, and okay, well, anyway, he was a little hard to get a hold of, and he's not very good at answering his messages. So we'll see, or having his clerk or whoever do that. They didn't respond, and these people do work for us. So I am going to, if I get no response, videotape a session at in my city, the council members, and start right here locally in my courthouse to see how many United States citizens are shipped out of this country through adoption. Yeah, has that happened in my county? How many times has it happened in my county? I'm calling for stronger adoption laws. Absolutely no babies going out of this country, because that would make us harder for them to find their families. And once that baby is a ward of the state, it should be looked after for the rest of its life by the state, not given to God knows who and not checked up on forever after that. They just place them in a family. There you go, kids. You're on your own. Take a newborn baby, throw it out the door with some wolves, and say goodbye to it, never to check on it again. Now, when people do adopt babies, usually they go through a screening process and are interviewed, and sometimes it takes, you know, years or months to even adopt. Well, I was adopted almost immediately and then brought back when I was 2 weeks old and then adopted out again. That's two attorney fees, and um, different people paying for a child through these adoption centers. There's different ones that I can name, but that's not the issue at this point. The point is getting stronger adoption laws in our country, um, or none at all. That's my ultimate goal. The whole White House could be turned into an orphanage instead of having aliens fake bombing it or something. Uh, yeah, just let all the homeless kids go in there. That would be a start. Not unless they have parents. If they have parents, perhaps the parents could become teachers and educators and cooks and janitors. Get everybody in there working as community. Why not? Can't any of these Congress and legislators or city council members or people that work in the courthouse, can't um, attorneys, district attorneys? I'm going to go to the attorney general next. I'll be writing a letter to him or her. I think it's a him still. They change like whatever. I don't really always keep up on everybody's names. I try to. It's not really my greatest passion. So, and I'd probably know it. Oh, that's Rachel. Uh, okay, well, anyway, or whatever his name is, I do believe. Well, yeah, writing somebody that probably doesn't care about a baby, let alone like that's really for real having a bull tell a cow how to be a cow. It's like, wow. Yeah, get ready for the draft, ladies. If they draft your butts into war or your daughters, prepare them for the scum of the earth to come after them in every way possible. That's a sick thought, isn't it? I've only fought because I've had to. It's not something that I love. I love to spar. And that's fun. That's like running a race or something with somebody and you're both laughing if it's like that. Sometimes it's not, but it can be. But yeah, I started a little bit bigger than locally, and I'm gonna go even stronger and harder. And yes, we need stricter adoption laws, and I really do want to see a list. I'm giving these people the opportunity to start. There's a list of children that have been taken out of our country, and I want to see who they are and when it started. Has it been happening the whole time? Because I know my blood got taken over to England when she was 12 years old, and I look just like her. I don't think this shit's too funny, you know, and it really isn't. So, yeah, I'm gonna make things happen. This is not gonna go away for them at all. You know, they want to act like this Ghislaine Maxwell or Epstein or whoever are the people like those type of people. And no, it's local people and people all over the world that are like local people too. Probably like billionaires or quite a few million. If a person doesn't have quite a few, if you're not in the billionaire club, you probably aren't really going to be heard, you know, ever, you know, unless you have family that is directly connected to all that. So, really, physically, confronting people is about the only option I have. I've tried writing and calling, and, uh, Doug's personally spoken to people. It's okay. The same person, I'm trying to make him realize about these uh, dangers that these children are in right now. Had no problem coming down to the end of our driveway when he was campaigning for his position. And Doug was in the middle of something and put stuff down, started talking to him. Had no problem selling himself as an employee for the people when he wanted that job, you know. So, and that's the truth, you know. That's how small this city is. I mean, even in the rural area, we all pretty much know who everybody is, you know. Well, the world's kind of like that too. And the people that call themselves elite know exactly where that baby and them babies came from and where they're going to. And yes, there is a list. There's a big ass list, excuse my expression, just in the facility I came out of, you know. I've got all the paperwork on that. Took me a while to even get that about myself, you know. So, and yet the morons can't even tell me what time of day I was born, you know. It's like, yeah, thank you. Changed my name 3 times. Yeah, you can call me anything. I've had so many names, I don't even care anymore. That's a fact. If you call me something special, I'd probably call you something special too. And if you acted special, I'd probably call you something special anyway. But yeah, so I'll probably be talking about this issue for a while because it's always been about the kids, not just the adopted ones. Every child, it's about the kids with them, and way more so for us. You know. Okay, older people. What if one of your children have a child and they adopt it out into another country, and then that child wanted to know who their grandparent, or wouldn't you really want to know if you had a grandchild out there, or a sibling, or a cousin, or even an uncle? You know, see what I mean? We want to know these things. We have a right. There's records that are kept on births, deaths, and adoptions everywhere in the world. It's not like people don't know, because they do. And they better get to rounding up. This is the supercomputer age. Use them supercomputers and do your jobs. Protecting the children is the most important job in the world, isn't it? I know it is. Anyway, it is pretty warm out. It actually sprinkled a little bit today here in the morning, about, oh, maybe 10 o'clock, I think. And then the sun came out, and it's probably about 80 and humid. I can tell you right now, it is 89 degrees. Whoa. I like it. It was warm last night too, kind of, but I had my window open. Doug turned his air on in his part of the house, and but yeah, I just like the freshness. It's got to be really extremely hot, or at least for a couple days, where I'll turn it on. And so, yeah, I've lived a lot of places where I didn't even use it, even though it was there. But then when I needed it and wanted it one time in Phoenix, I didn't have air. More than once, 2 places. Wow, that was wicked. Yeah, that's hell. If there's a hell on earth, that's like Satan's little city there. And what a mess. Even driving around in it is like you feel like one of the creatures instead of human. It's just horrible. And the first people I met down there affiliated with construction, what a bunch of creatures that just never ended. The churches, and oh, I had Jehovah Witnesses attacking me just because I was subcontracting from them, and it's like, oh. That's that's before I became a contractor because I learned my lesson. It's like, wow, why do I need people to tell me how to make money when I'm doing the work and I'm the one who knows how to do this? Yeah, something wrong with that picture. Let's cut out the top tier, keep the middleman, move them up, and pull up the little guys. And that's exactly my life pattern. That's kind of how I operate. Pretty long time friend of mine had written a letter. It was a belated Father's Day note to her deceased dad and her grandfather, and she was talking about her little brother and her, how they were always like each other's mom and dad, and that their grandfather stepped in and took a position in their life where he taught them how to garden and pray and harvest and pray and kill and pray and eat and pray. And I told her that I believe that it was him instilling them prayers in her that kept us friends through the better part of a decade. And she knows it too. So that is, the power of God is amazing because the things we've both been through and to still keep in contact, and she's from Pennsylvania. Well, originally from, I do believe, God, I hope I don't misspeak. I'm going to say Syria. I do believe, if I'm not mistaken. It could be Libya too, and I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah. So I have no clue. Forgive me, my friend. You can let me know. In fact, I'm going to ask you now that I'm curious. And I know I've heard it. It's just, you know, it didn't matter, I guess, because we're all United States citizens. So, yeah. And that reminds me, we bring people in. We don't take our citizens out, you know. But yeah, she wrote a beautiful post, and I got to see her and her little brother and their dad together, I believe, and then their grandpa's picture, and that was really cool. But yeah, she's been getting really harassed lately, mostly because she's a woman. Well, that might not be, I wasn't going to be mean, but might not be the only reason. She's really strong minded, and well, let's put it this way. When she was mad at her ex and it was a long time relationship, she sent around one of them cartoon pictures that look like you know. And here's this little dark haired woman, and she's in her Muslim garb, only it was the warrior garb, and it had a sword. I'm like, I feel you. So I could see that some guys might have some problems with her strength and intelligence. She's been through more than most people. That's a real thing. you know. Yeah, I can see them harassing her for her beauty and her intelligence and the whole thing, and from all angles, the men and the women, and sometimes even our own family members. So, most of the time, you know, little buggers that they are. Yeah. Some people don't believe in reincarnation, and I really kind of used to not really a whole lot. I always figured I just always had been, so I just didn't look at things as reincarnating, you know. But if Christians don't believe in reincarnation, then why did Christ come back or God carnate into the human system? You know, if that weren't a possible thing to go somewhere else with yourself, you know, but can you do it by yourself? There's the question, you know. But anyway, but I don't think, personally, maybe some humans come back as house pets or bugs or, you know, whatever. But I think humans are human. And there's a spiritual heaven, and I believe there's a real one. I believe it's all one land in the cosmos, not a universe. Una implies more than one. Well, where are all the beliefs that connect everything if it's una? You could say dual. Well, because I look in the mirror, that reflection does not make that me. You know, and if it weren't real, that simulation type theory, well, that's feasible up to a point because matter is a actual thing. But just talking, thinking out loud. I think there's more than one heaven. I'm kind of leaning towards three. Yeah. And one big old hell. The real one, not just this level. So, if these politicians that I've contacted don't help me, it's like it's like how can I'm trying to correlate it with something. Um, well, I'm not accusing them yet of doing nothing. That's kind of like what they want to do with their like accusatory. Uh, we're gonna give you jail for pre-thought. So I'm not gonna do that to them. I'm gonna give them the opportunity before accusing them of doing nothing. I'll give them ample business days to get on the most important thing going on in our world. Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell and those people have not annihilated as many babies that have been put into boards of the state in our system. And that's a fact. That outweighs that is in the news by hundreds of thousands to one, you know. And I'm digging down to the bone of the matter, and we're going to put an end to this together. So I'm not just saying they're not going to do something. I'm saying they're going to do something, and I will be heard. And it's going to take me some time and some struggle. If people can get out with like-minded messages and make people more aware of trafficking right before our eyes, disguised as other things. So we can call it that, or we can call it wards of the state that should remain wards of the state so the people can see that them children are okay for the rest of their lives. Get them into trade schools, help them out. Any citizen with any tax money would want that for any child, I am sure. And we're going to do things the right way. And yes, I have ideas that will work and can work with some help and some committees behind that, getting the ball rolling and giving people ideas. That's what the United States is about, isn't it? Helping each other. Where the heck did that go? You know? the one nation under God thing, you know. Well, you teach your child wrong, better for you to have a millstone around your neck thrown into the sea. I do like that. I can just picture that. Not meaning that's exactly what's going to happen to these people, but it would be the equivalent if that makes sense. You know, Doug and I were talking about gravity. He said there is no gravity. I said, what about barometric pressure? I said, how about if I put you under a 1,000-pound sheet of steel and then tell me there's no gravity? And then he said something, and I said, or I said, let's put it to you this way, like the depths of the sea, the very bottom of the ocean floor, and then tell me that barometric pressure and humidity is a grave situation. That's a grave. Yeah, gravity. I think everybody's under pressure from where God is resting all the way down. And that is not the all seeing eye of the pyramid either, or the pinnacle of creation. And there is no universe, there's only one everything, which is the cosmos with different areas that are traveled different ways. That's my hypothesis. I'm welcome to anybody's ideas. I'm not down on anybody's ideas, and you might have a really good reason for believing what you believe. You know, it's just that I don't believe this, oh, the universe gave me information because I put it out there type of thing. It's a direct connection with God that's in us continuously, that our needs are met through pre-planned gifts through other people to help us through these turmoils while we're trying to rise up the ones that have fallen and deserve a chance because they've been trying. We're trying to help those ones, not the dimwits that don't care, that think they can do it better. Those are the ones that will be weeded out. But I know a lot of intelligent people that have really good ideas in their communities for their communities that aren't being heard, you know. And we see them all over. You know them, I know them. We see them speaking, and the people in the comments, and we're all on the same page and the same wavelength. So these people that are getting paid by us are pretending they can't see how we're feeling. They just don't care. Just like a friend of mine, Kim, shared a Michael Jackson Day to all I'm really saying is they don't really care about us. All I'm really saying is, you know, that one. And him dancing some of his different moves through a little clip. It was pretty neat, you know. Yeah, that's true. They don't really care about us. But you know what? So what? We're going to make them care because I do care about them. Barely. And that's exactly what will help us rise is that barely part. Because they got away with their lives unscathed. And they should be grateful for that. They're not yet, but I can see it coming. And they will be shameful forever. You know, that's enough right there. I mean, living in shame, you know, you do something when you're little or even when you're a young adult or something or in a bind or whatever, and you do your dumb thing, and then the shame you carry, you know, God's like, hey, just like any parent, I love you, just move along, you know, go on with your day, you know. Everybody does dumb things, so there you go, you know. Just it's the ones that do it sort of like on a daily basis I have a problem with, you know, not the occasional meathead, you know, the intentional darkness. That's the ones we're coming after you. I'm not just typing and saying I'm a warrior. It's nothing like that at all. At all. People do not want to meet me in person. I guarantee nothing will happen, but you'll probably be dribbling down your leg by the time my brain gets done with you. So just carry on with your stupidity or help me help these children. I don't want any more adoption or foster homes. This is total fucking, excuse me, it's total bullshit. It is. You see, children with one missing parent devastates them. You know, two fake ones don't replace that. Trust me. Those children together replace that. That's the only thing that fills that kind of hole. And they should be exposed to all kinds of religions and languages, everything they can get their little hands on, anything their little hearts desire, dressed in the prettiest clothes that are the cutest things, not unisex, you know, just beautiful little clothes for girls and boys, you know, fresh little, even uniforms for school, but cute like Sunday dresses they could pick out, and, you know, cool little play clothes and jump ropes and things that children that get placed into places don't normally wouldn't really have that type of education or attention, you know. So that's my dream. Amongst getting the homeless off the street, that's I've been there. So, I've been there with kids. So, to no fault of my own, so I will never look at it like that's a small thing either. Okay, everybody, thank you for joining me. I'm going to get this uploaded and spread the word about adoption and child trafficking. And like I say, I hate to call it that, and that's pretty harsh, and I can't prove that. But the story proves it, and my actual life proves it, and many of yours too. So, all right. Thanks again. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA.